Okay guys, we're on day 9. Today we're working on wrists and shoulders. For equipment, you'll just need a yoga strap or towel. We're gonna start with the wrists for the first 6, shoulders for the second. We're kicking things off with some wrist circles. So just have a seat and we're gonna make little circles with the wrists here. Halfway through, we'll switch directions. So big circles, try to move the arms as little as possible and have the motion come through the wrists, getting rid of any crunching or cracking that you may have. Just roll through it. We can change the directions of the circles. All right, so next up, we're gonna be doing some wrist flexion and extension. So bring the arms out in front and we're gonna extend one wrist and flex the other and just give your best effort for a few seconds and then switch. Best effort for a few seconds. Make sure the elbows stay straight. Here we go. So wrist mobility is an important one for doing any type of exercise where your hands are on the floor. So if you lack this wrist extension here, then what you end up with is a lot of pressure in the back of the wrist from forcing your hand into a position that is not flexible enough to do. So we spend a lot of time with wrist mobility in our classes because we do a lot of on the ground push-up type movements. There we go. So it's very common for people's wrists to give out before anything else. So we're gonna do a wrist flexor stretch. So let's go ahead and bring the fingers to point back at the knees. And we're gonna just gently rock back and forth and feel the stretch to the front of the forearms. Try to keep the hands flat to the floor the whole time. So here we go. Just stretching back. Feel the front of the wrist stretch. Just gently rock in and out of the stretch. Make sure when your hands are on the floor that you spread your fingers nice and wide. That gives you a good base of support and distributes the force evenly throughout the hand instead of being right in that wrist joint. Might notice yourself being able to get a little bit further now. All right, so shake that out for a moment. If at any point your wrists bug you, this is a great way to alleviate pressure. And we're gonna get the backs of the wrists on the floor. Okay, so get the back of the hands on the floor and we're gonna try and point the elbows back at the body so your arms are completely straight. That's the priority here. And then we're rocking back and forth just like the first one. If you have troubles to get your elbows straight, bring your hands down by your sides and get them as straight as you can to rock back and forth. And then as you get better, you can bring the arms out in front. Feel this right in the backs of the wrist. This is a tricky one. Okay, so shake that out for a moment. And we're gonna move into a first knuckle push-up. So spread the hands wide and we're gonna start by lifting the palm but keeping the fingers on the floor. So lift the palm, keep the fingers flat and stretch the fingers and then we'll alternate sides. So just keep switching sides. We got the right hand and then the left hand. Put as much weight into the hands as you're comfortable with and really feel the fingers stretch. If you use the computer a lot, you'll probably notice that your right hand is noticeably worse than your left. That's very, very common. You see it all the time, myself included. Okay, so shake that out one last time. Okay, and we're gonna move into a back of the wrist stretch. So keep the fists on the floor, and we're gonna try to place the backs of the hands on the floor, keeping the fist closed and bending the elbow as little as you can, and just go up and down. So we're just gonna roll the backs of the fists on the floor. So you're gonna try to get the backs of the hands right down. Keep the elbows as straight as you can handle, and up we go. We're feeling that big stretch in the back of the hand here. This one can feel pretty intense. So to make it easier, bring your hands closer to your body so you're using less of your body weight. And to make it harder, you can go further away so you're putting more of your body weight into your hands. Somewhere around here is good for me. Work on keeping the elbows nice and straight. This one's tricky. Okay, so we've sufficiently worked the wrists for today. We're gonna move on to the shoulders. So we're gonna do some shoulder rolls. Just note, if this seating position bothers your legs, you can do all of these movements standing for the shoulder. And so from here, we're just gonna roll the shoulders. So start in one direction, and at the halfway point, we can change. Make the shoulders shoulder circles as large as you can. Bring the shoulders together at the back. And we can change directions here. These big circles. Okay, so we're gonna do something very similar. We're gonna take the hands and place the fingers on tops of the shoulders. And we've got big circles with the elbows, as large as you can. We're gonna do all one direction first, and then at the halfway point, 20 seconds in, we're gonna change direction. So keep the fingers on the shoulders, palms facing down, and make those circles as large as you can. Start with whichever direction feels natural to you. And then because we're gonna switch at the halfway point, these big circles, get the circles as big as you can get them. Go ahead and change directions. So for the last couple of movements, we're going to need the strap. All right, we got some T rotations. So we're going to bring the arms out to a T, and then we're going to turn one arm down and one arm up, and take a look over at the palm that's facing up and push the arms away from each other. And we'll go back the other way, turn one palm up, one palm down, turn the head towards the palm facing up, and just going side to side here. Push the arms as far away from each other as you can. I feel the shoulders rotating in the socket. All right, so we've got an Apley scratch stretch. So you may need your strap for this, but we're gonna take one arm. Let's start with the left arm up and the right arm down, and we're gonna try and bring the hands together behind the back. So if you're not able to reach, you can take the strap in the left hand, drape it down the back, and take hold of that strap with the right and make the stretch here. We're just gonna hold this stretch for the whole 40 seconds. You can keep inching the hands closer together as the stretch goes on. Excellent. And we're just going to switch sides. So now let's have the left arm go up the back and the right arm's going to go down the back. And let's get it. Hold. And as the stretch goes on, just inch the arms closer and closer together. All right, and our last movement for today is a shoulder extension. So we're gonna take the strap, have your palms face back behind you, and grab shoulder width apart. Keep tension out, so we're pulling the strap nice and straight, and then we're gonna lift the arms as high as you can without folding the body forward. So this is some shoulder extension. You can feel the triceps, feel the front of the shoulders stretch. All right, great work today. We'll see you guys tomorrow.